What's up, guys? So first, just want to wish everyone a happy holidays. In today's video, we have a Honda Accord with a ton of dog hair in it and a spot on the seat the dog actually threw up on. As always, if you're new, say hi, hit that subscribe button for more dirty details. Now without further ado, the before shots. First thing I do on any detail is remove any loose items and any garbage that's in the car. At this point, I'm also removing the floor mats, and I'm being careful when removing so that any dirt or sand from the floor mat doesn't go onto the carpet, creating more of a mess. This car didn't have a ton of garbage in it compared to some previous details I've done, but I did find some beef jerky in the door panel. Just never know what you'll find. Taking the seats out was a must for this detail just because of the amount of dog hair that was in the car, and you'll see just how much easier it is to clean and work around when the seats are out. So you will be unplugging some wire harnesses when you remove the seats. So what I usually do is unplug the battery and just let it sit for a good 10 minutes before unplugging anything. Guys, just look at how much hair was under these seats. Guys, switching to this table to do the floor mats and the seats instead of doing it on the ground was the smartest decision I've ever made. Definitely easier on your back. Here I'm using a lily brush for any stuck on hair on the floor mats. But you'll see later just how well this thing really does with the dog hair. Now for the rubber floor mats, I'm spraying it off with a hose and then using an all-purpose cleaner, agitating it with a drill brush, and then rinsing it off, letting it sit outside in the sun to dry. I'm doing the seats and the floor mats first. I usually do those first just so they have time to dry, so the customer doesn't have to sit in a wet seat. So guys, for these seats, I'm going over it with the shop vac and then hitting it with fabric cleaner, agitating it with a drill brush, and then instead of using an extractor, I'm just going to blot dry with a microfiber. Don't know if you guys caught this, but I actually changed my shirt. I was getting really hot, especially in the Santa hat. It was like over 80 degrees even though we're in mid-December. That Florida heat. Much rather sweat than freeze though, so kudos to all the detailers doing this in the cold and the snow. I couldn't even imagine. Here I'm spraying the plastic parts of the seat with all-purpose cleaner and wiping it down with a microfiber towel. Here I'm using a shop vac attachment that I don't normally use, but it works perfect for loose hair or dust. And it's that bristle brush attachment. All that dog hair was on the dash, the center console, the door panels, and this helped a lot. Now onto the back seat. We're going to use the same method as the front seats, but here we do have some tougher stains and of course that puke spot. So we'll be using an additional method with the steam cleaner. Here you can see just how well the lily brush works. Couldn't imagine doing this detail without it. And of course, the links to all the products and tools I use are in the description. So the steps I'm taking for the carpet are a lily brush to clump all the hair together, shop vac, and then a carpet brush. And I'm using a carpet brush and doing it by hand instead of the drill brush, just because the fibers in this carpet are pretty delicate, so I don't want to like fray them and ruin them. And then second pass with the shop vac, and if there's any little like spots, I use an all-purpose cleaner and then microfiber. I'm not using an extractor here and shampooing the rugs because really they don't need it. So as you can see on the passenger side, most of the hair is already cleaned up, and that's because my camera kind of died and wasn't able to record that. So for these rear seats, they had a few stubborn stains, including the puke stain from the dog. And I'm using an all-purpose cleaner as well, agitating it with the drill brush, and then using a steam cleaner just to really help get it out.
Crazy Monday, I know it shows that I'm a little nervous. just realized that I can't let go. There's something about me and you, so let me stay here a little while, at least until I calm down. Please don't say it's all about me. It's something I thought was something I like to try. Please don't say it's all about you. That is so too late, 'cause I am waiting for you. No, I don't mind waiting for you.
Now onto the door panels and the door jambs. I'm spraying it with an all-purpose cleaner and then agitating with a detail brush and then wiping it down with a microfiber towel. The detail brush is really an invaluable tool. It's so good at getting in between buttons and cracks. It's great for the dash and the steering wheel. Highly recommend using one of these. Now onto my favorite part of the detail, using a UV protectant dressing. I use Silk and Shine by Chemical Guys, and it's one of the things that just takes the car from being clean to looking new again. I spray it onto a microfiber and then apply it to any plastics, any rubber, usually the dash, the door panels, and the center console. For the windows, I'm just using invisible glass and making sure to roll down the windows a tad just to get to that top portion, and then finishing it off the rest of the windows. Now onto the exterior, basic wash with a foam cannon. First thing I do is rinse the car, then I do the wheels, then foam cannon, and then 2-bucket hand wash. Now if you guys look in the upper right hand, some woman actually hits and knocks over my mailbox. But I wanted to finish spraying this side before I had to deal with that. It was this elderly woman that wanted directions. So yeah, I told her it was fine, didn't have to worry about it. Mailbox was already broken, so gave her the directions and started the detail again. So in using a wash mitt, I start up top and then work my way down low, using a separate mitt for the bottom part of the car because that's usually dirtier, and then rinsing in between. And then detail brush for the emblems and like the grill area that's hard to get to with the mitt. And after 4.5 hours of detailing and being in the Santa hat, we are done. Let's check it out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more dirty disaster detail transformations. Thanks guys.